Hello, everybody. This is Mecca with Misfit Artist doing a little, not a tutorial, but some thought sharing. I think that this is something really worth talking about, and just to be clear, none of this is going to be hard and fast, guaranteed rules. This is about how to stay motivated to keep making art, whether it's and this isn't art block. I might do another video on getting through art block. This is solely about motivation. Uh, the world is weird and stressful. I mean, Ace and I have day jobs, school, money, life, relationships, and then there's like not feeling good about your art. So there's a lot of ways that you can like art, want to make art, but not have that mental energy to go through with it. And if you have depression, anxiety, or anything like that, then please go seek therapy, get medication if you need it, talk to people. But this is things about the art side of it specifically. So I'm gonna go through a few tips and just have a little talk. This is probably hopefully this will be a short video. Um, tip number one is have deadlines and goals. Now, this can feel a little backwards because, oh, school, work, you know, chores, they already have deadlines, and that's what's adding stress and making me not want to do it. Well, when people ask professional freelancers, or I'm assuming most YouTubers even, how do you manage to make art every single week? The most simple answer is normally going to be I have to make art every single week. If I have a contract to animate something, design a logo, or record something, I there's nothing else to it. I need to make that. So if you want to produce like a professional, I think it's hard to deny that you need to treat yourself like a professional. So you have to, like I said, give yourself some deadlines, and we'll talk about it some other bits here. But when you make these deadlines, keep yourself accountable for it. Do it, do it, do it. But also try to, like, just recently, today while I was making this file, I my lunch was ready in the microwave, and but I had told myself I was gonna get this done before I went to eat my lunch. So I held myself to that, and so this got done. If you push off your deadlines or for whatever reason, it's a bad thing. But once I met that deadline, I went and I took care of myself. I consumed the nutrients that I needed. So it's a two-way thing of, and this is very dependent. Are you a professional? Are you a hobbyist? Do you just want to get better for a personal project? Who knows? But hold yourself accountable to the deadline, meet the deadline, or do your best to meet it. If your deadline is something like make 3 drawings in 2 hours, and you're drawing for the whole 2 hours, but you made one less drawing than you want to, reevaluate it. You kept to it. Don't beat yourself up. But if your thing is to draw, your goal, your deadline is to draw for 4 hours, stop drawing after that 4 hours. If you're really on a roll and you're having a good time and everything else is good, then hey, that's up to you, I guess. But I would highly recommend walking away at least for a little bit after you do that goal. But yeah, and any way that you want to do this works. If you're young, have your parents kind of enforce you maybe. But this is always going to be a big thing is you will do it if you have to do it. Tip number 2 is start with some simpler goals. Whew. Yeah, so like I said, deadlines, very nice and very helpful. But if you're setting yourself a deadline, let's say that you're 12 years old maybe, haven't taken any art classes yet, you don't really know what you're doing, and your goal is to one day make a comic book or an animation. Don't say that you can make an animation right off the bat. Don't say that you can make a whole comic book in a month if you've never done something like that. Start with something smaller. Because the whole point of this is staying motivated. You're not going to be motivated if you continue to fail your deadlines, especially if they're ones that you're putting forth. For me again, if I have a freelance contract, there's not a whole lot to it. I need to make that deadline, or otherwise I'm not getting paid. But when I set my own goals, and even when you are doing freelance contracts, you can negotiate. You can say, listen, I can do this job. I cannot do this job in 2 days. And you can decide whether you're going to take that contract or not if they're arguing you. So, if you're a hobbyist, especially, do something simple. There was a great, I think I've referenced this before, but there's a great piece of advice that just says if you want to get better at drawing, sit down every day and draw one line. That's all your goal needs to be. Once you sit down and you draw that one line, you have your sketchbook out, you have your computer turned on, whatever. You're probably gonna do more than just one line. But if you dedicate and you make your goal that simple, you feel good when you get that goal. So come up with whatever your version of that is. And you can make your goal to be ready to start your comic book by X date. You can make your goal to be, okay, I drew character faces yesterday. I'm going to draw full bodies today, or whatever. Just think, it doesn't have to be the same goal every day. It doesn't have to be the same goal every week. But just set those. So if you're trying to do a whole project with a story and characters and universes, make your first goal just drawing the characters. Do the character designs, the things that we all love. And then you can go on and start doing the more complicated stuff. And again, the goal can just be learning how to do it to begin with. Your goal doesn't have to be, I gotta make a thing. Your goal can be studying. And on that, the last piece of advice I have is warm ups. Don't, and maybe even copy things. Yeah, I don't know why I had a stroke there or something, but you don't have to just, if you're working. So we're working on Hit Cam, How to Kill a Monster, and it's hard and it's long and there's so much to it. I don't always sit down and immediately start drawing that. If I did, maybe it would get done faster, but I don't think the work would be as good. I'm not learning from redrawing Flopsy as much now because I've learned that character pretty well. I'm still animating him and experimenting, but if you're just sitting down, especially so if I'm making a 5 minute long animation, I have to, there's writing, there's recording, there is storyboarding. And if you just stay in the world of that one project, you start to get a weird kind of tunnel vision, is the best way I can describe it. But if you force yourself to look out and do something else, do some gesture drawing, do some life studies, or again, do fan art of something else, or just literally copy or trace something just to get your hand learning those things. Maybe that's something you can bring into your project or something. And of course, the classic disclaimer, if you are straight up copying or tracing, you don't get to post that as your own work. It's encourage you to do it. Encourage you to learn and study, but don't then come by and say I made this from my own original thought. You might even, depending on what it is, like again, if it's a study, yeah, sure, go ahead and post that and say, hey, I redrew a frame from Naruto because I love that show and I wanted to learn how to draw like them. That's how you learn to draw like someone, or learn to get styles and techniques. But yeah, do warm ups. Again, as you can see, I reference exercise up here. We start with simpler goals. You lift a small weight before you lift the big weight. That's how your arms get bigger, your muscles get better. It's the same thing with this. This is exercising, this is training. So set deadlines and goals. Make those goals simple if you have to, or not even simple. Make them attainable. Understand where you're at, and make sure you're warming up. And enjoy it. Oh, please, whether you're a professional or not. Like if you're not a professional, obviously the only reason you should be doing this is if you like it. If you are a professional, you're going to be doing better work if you keep enjoying it. So sit down. If you're drawing fruit all day because you have some contract, and you're like, oh man, I miss drawing D&D. Frickin' sit down and draw some Durgans, man. And if you're having trouble setting your goals, talk to people. We have a Discord. We'd love to get some more people in there. and maybe we can help you guys figure out what goals you should have. We're not like masters at this or anything, but we went through art school. We've had freelance jobs. We're doing this whole YouTube thing. We can give you our insight, and then you can use that to make your own decisions. Or leave a comment down below. Talk to, if you're in college, message actual animation studios or artists you like. Everyone has social media now. There's business email contacts. They might not be able to get back to you because they're busy, but that's what I do. I message studios local to me and I say, hey, how can I improve? If you're younger, like maybe elementary or middle school, talk to family. You know, I'm like 85% sure that almost all of you will have some artist somewhere in your family tree, or even if they're not currently an artist, your mom will be like, "Oh yeah, your aunt Eleanor, oh she was a wild art child back in the day." Ask them how they improved, ask them what their goals were, and tailor it to you. So I hope this helped. Again, please comment any questions or comments below. We should post a link to our Discord server down there. And yeah, just hope you all have a good day and keep learning. Bye.